Hi everyone, welcome to Just Between You and Me. I'm Michael.
And I'm Michele, and today we're talking about our definition of femininity and what we mean by that word when we use it, feminine.
Absolutely.
Femininity.
And I want to start out by saying that I need to own within my boundaries of feminine energy that they're a bit lucid or not solid. They're a bit flexible. Like they shift over time, they grow over time. Is that true for you, Michele?
So it's not as true for me that they grow over time. They do where they do. Mm-hmm. And for me, like, I still have a pretty solid set of boundaries of how I define it. But I also, within my boundaries of how I define it, I also leave room for other people's definitions.
Absolutely.
So I don't just say my boundaries is the definition when I am it's when I'm using it, but not necessarily when you're using it or when someone else is using it.
So what does feminine mean to you?
So for me, the way I use the word feminine is all around, for me, like softness, roundness, nourishment, fluidity, creativity. I see that those things for me as defined as feminine, and like defining the word the way I use the word feminine. So when I see those aspects in things around me or in people around me, I would say, oh, that's a very feminine space they're stepping into.
Yeah.
That would be my definition of it.
Yeah, I resonate with that. Those qualities you described for me would be qualities of the way of being of feminine. So I experience femininity as very much an energy, and very much like a way one can show up in the world as I experience people. I can experience someone independent of their gender. That's an important point to make. Showing up as feminine, showing up as, for me, soft as, not soft in a weak way, but soft as in a gentle way. Showing up in a nourishing capacity, showing up in a supportive capacity in a way that's like very giving, very drawing upon an infinite well, which brings us to the womb space.
Right. So when we're defining femininity, we also are defining inherently this womb space energy or this creation energy. We don't necessarily mean the physical womb space, although that is part of it. But what we're talking about is the space where projects, ideas, energies, and humans are birthed from. So it is that feminine, that definition of feminine, at least for, I think, at least how we're defining it, includes that creation space, that birth space, of birthing of projects, birthing of ideas, birthing of humans. Right.
Which, until you said that last part, I was going to say both men and women can do, but then you said birthing of humans, and I was like, well, never mind.
So the physical aspects are only available to
women.
Well, only available to vagina-having peoples.
There you go.
But and not all vagina-having peoples, actually, but that birthing of ideas and projects and creative energies can happen from anyone.
That's certainly true for us. I agree with that.
From any human, and oftentimes not just humans, but also, like, I don't know if you've ever experienced like an animal getting creative with something. Like, there's beautiful videos online where octopuses are creating tools and stuff.
Oh, cool.
And so other species can have creative...
Drawing from the feminine wellspring.
Drawing from the feminine womb space wellspring energy.
Beautifully said. So I want to ask you, Michele, how do you experience femininity in our connection?
So I actually experience femininity in our connection with the tenderness that we show each other, and with the care and the heart-centered emotional connection. I also experience, for me, femininity in some of the more what I would consider more wounded traits as well. So I don't just experience like femininity is all roses and sunshine.
Sure.
That's not real for me.
There's a denser feminine
There's
energy.
a denser feminine energy for me as well, which for me shows up as like passive aggression. Like that can show up in any human, but I see that as a feminine space, even though it's not something that I see as a positive feminine space. I see it from a wounded feminine space. Like when I see things as when we're less straightforward, we feel like maybe we're not safe.
Like emotionally triggered,
Yeah.
and like having an emotional rise come up, being aware of it, but then like bottling it, and then that coming across in communication. I've experienced myself there too.
Yeah, and I do also experience a certain amount of kind of manipulation as feminine for me. That's not a great, like, I mean, to me, I don't like that idea, but it does, it's just an experience I have.
Yeah. And again, these are our definitions in our container, and you really can draw from the infinite in terms of what boxes you want to place around masculine and feminine. And in feminine, like we're experiencing this. It doesn't mean that all women can have this, or that all men can't have this. This is anyone can access this feminine energy,
or that non-gendered or non-binary peoples experience none of this because they are neither masculine nor feminine. Yeah. We're talking about the energies inherent in all humans, not just defined as gender or gender expression.
And you could have a different word for it, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think that we're not talking about like good, bad, right, wrong. We're simply talking about how we define this word of feminine, and like how we're going to be using it in future videos, in our connection, and in how we express it and connect it to things we're experiencing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think that
about wraps this one up. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. Please leave a comment in the comment section down below if you liked what you saw or want to learn more about it.
Yeah, and definitely click the like button, subscribe, and share with your friends if you found this to be valuable for you. And if you want to contact us in any of our social medias, that'll be in the description section down below. We'd love to hear from you there too.
Yeah, that's it.
Also look for anything in the description section relating to our events upcoming, or our paid sites, or any services that we offer. That'll also be on our websites down in the description section down below.
Yeah. So thank you all very much for joining us today on Just Between You and Me. I'm Michael.
And I'm Michele, and we'll see you next time.
Mwah.